Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Real Read with Carylee show. We are live here at Girardi Coffee House, and today we are schoolhouse rocking it with one of Prince William County's favorite teachers, Mr. John Dutton. And he has a book today that's very interesting. It's about an argument at the airport. I know that I am ready to get into this book. So, without further ado, if you could all help me, it's time to
tell the story.
Awesome. So, take it away, Mr. John Dutton.
All right. A shiny plane had just landed after another successful flight, and it made its way into the hangar. Cheers of celebration erupted as the plane made its final safety checks. As the cheering continued, Larry Landing Gear grumbled under his breath. "It was because of me we landed safely. I'm the most important part of this plane." With that small statement, once peaceful hangar now erupted with angry. Having overheard Larry Landing Gear's remark, Paulette Propeller spoke up. "What? No, you're not," pronounced Paulette Propeller. "I am too. I bring us safely back down to the ground after each flight," Larry argued. "I'm the most important part of this plane," protested Paulette Propeller. "You've got to be kidding," retorted Robbie Rudder. "I am too. I keep us flying forward towards our destination on each flight," Paulette argued. "I'm the most important part of this plane," responded Robbie Rudder. "You are mistaken, my friend. You are not the most important part of this plane," shouted flustered Frank Fuselage. "I am too. I keep this plane flying in a straight line and on course on each flight," Robbie argued. "I'm the most important part of this plane," fumed Frank Fuselage. "Seriously? No, you're not," interrupted Ernie Elevator. "I am too. I'm the part that holds the crew, the passengers, and the cargo. I also hold the engine," Frank argued. "I'm the most important part of this plane," emphasized Ernie Elevator. "Wait just 1 minute. Oh, no, you're not," whispered Wendy Wings. "I am too. I lift us off the ground. Without me, you'll be stuck on the ground. I put the fly in each flight," Ernie argued. "But I think I'm the most important part of this plane," whimpered Wendy Wings. "You? Really?" "No, you're not," cooed Candace Cockpit. "I am too. For the airplane to fly, I must lift the weight of the airplane itself, the fuel, the passengers, and the cargo. I generate most of the lift to hold the plane in the air," Wendy argued. "You're all dreaming. I'm the most important part of this plane," complained Candace Cockpit. "No, you're not. And you're the one who's dreaming," assured Aaron Ailerons. "I am too. I offer the pilot a comfy seat to sit in as he pilots the plane," Candace argued. "I'm the most important part of this plane," alerted Aaron Ailerons. No, you're not. You're far from it," fretted Francis Flaps. "I am too. I allow the plane to turn left or right to change directions," Aaron argued. "Everyone knows I'm the most important part of this plane," fussed Francis Flaps. You're crazy. "You are definitely not the most important part," voiced Vernon Vertical Stabilizer. "I am too. I slow us down during the landings. Without me, you would all crash," Francis argued. "I'm the most important part of this plane," verified Vernon Vertical Stabilizer. "No way, Jose! You're not," hissed Harrietta Horizontal Stabilizer. "I am too. I provide our airplane stability by keeping the nose from swinging side to side," Vernon argued. "I am the most important part of this plane," hollered Harrietta Horizontal Stabilizer. Willie Wilchalk cleared his throat. "I am too. I provide our airplane stability by keeping the nose from swinging up and down," Harriet argued. Willie Wilchalk cleared his throat, this time with a bit more force, as all the parts of the airplane turned to face Willie. "Why are all you guys arguing and acting like fools?" Willie said. We're all learning a valuable lesson today. When we all work together, you get to take flight and soar above the clouds. Without any one of us, you will go nowhere. You all don't realize how lucky you are. Every time I watch you take off, I can only wish to fly. Willie continued. Remember, I am the one who you wave to when you leave and return. After I snuggle up close and stop Larry landing gear, he tells me all about your adventures. So stop arguing and count your blessings. Larry landing gear knew he had started this argument. He said, Willie, you are right. I am sorry for not realizing it. We are all equally important. There were hugs and high fives as the parts of the plane offered each other's apologies. Larry landing gear soon noticed that Willie Wilchalk had turned away from the group and was looking glum. Larry landing gear nudged Willie Wilchalk. No, Willie, you are just as important as any of the other parts of this. Keep us safe and secure. I sleep better at night knowing you are there protecting us. Willie's face shone like the sun as he smiled and hugged his friend tightly. Willie realized they all have an important role. Without any one part, no matter how big or small, they wouldn't be able to do the job they were intended to do. There was peace at the hangar.
Well, thank you, John, for that book. That was definitely full of alliterations and very interesting arguments. To really see how the parts of an airplane could work together to, let them take flight, and they really had to see that. So what inspired you to write this book?
My son was in kindergarten, and I went to pick him up one night, and he had the same picture of the plane spread out all over the floor. And he said, Dad, I can't go until I finish my homework. So I'm like, all right. So I sat down and I watched him. I saw in each picture, there was one piece of the plane colored in, and then underneath it had the part labeled, and then what it did. Oh. And so as he finished his work, I was like, man, that's a kid's book right there. So I gathered up after he was done and finished the assignment and turned it in. I waited for him to bring it home, and I was like, I'll take that from you. And so it became, and I worked it into a story, and I showed my kids at school how to, because we always have to write a narrative story at school.
Yeah.
So this was one year's, because I'm a classroom scribe, and this was one of my stories that I wrote for the kids to show them how to write a narrative story. And we also have to teach figurative language, so I dumped in a lot of the figurative language, tell and personification, alliteration.
Well, that's awesome. As I mentioned in the beginning, and as you said, you're a teacher here at in Prince William County. And what do your students think of this story?
They think it's pretty cool because they have it up in the library, and they'll come in and say, Mr. Dutton, I checked out your book today. I'm like, it's always a fun time where they walk in, they see the books there. Yes. And so I enjoy it. I think they enjoy it too. Yes.
That's one of the aims of this show, to show, children around the neighborhood that there are people that are just like them that are writing books, and they can actually get the inspiration from that as well. And for your students to see that, that's very amazing. And thank you for, writing this book and thinking, just seeing the parts of the airplane that your son had, that this could be turned into a book. So what would you say were some of your favorite books growing up?
I have two that I remember that I always tell the children. I actually have them in my classroom. One is Dr. Dolittle. It was mine when I was a kid. The dog got into it. It has no corners left on the bindings, but I love that book. I fell in love with the Push Me, Pull Me. I don't know if it's the same one that's coming out, but I know in January there's going to be the Dr. Dolittle with, I think it's Morton Downey Jr. is going to be playing the role.
Yeah.
So that I'm looking forward to that. And I had another favorite book, and the other one was called Andrew Henry's Meadow.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't know, that one is sort of obscure, but all the children in town run away, and they go to this meadow, and Andrew Henry loves to build, and so he builds every one of them their own personalized, cool treehouse. And it's so awesome. I love the pictures, and I just love the concept of when you're little, you're like, yeah, let's run away and live in a tree. Live in a treehouse. So I always loved that book too. Those are my two favorites when I was a kid.
Well, thank you for sharing all that with us, and thank you for sharing the argument at the airport with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. You can go to the WbtR website to find out how to get to win a copy of the argument at the airport from Mr. John Dutton. And you can definitely go to readwithcarylee.com also to see where you can find the argument at the airport and other books that John Dutton has written. And you're going to be joining us again soon to read one of his other books. So thank you again for joining us for this episode of the Read with Carylee Show. Remember, as always, if you're in the Prince William County area, come on and join us at Girani Coffee House, where we tape live and the tickets are free. So go to readwithcarylee.com and join us if you're ever in the area. Thanks again, and as always, pick up a book and read. Thanks for watching another amazing episode of the Read with Carylee Show. We have amazing authors coming by every week. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. You don't want to miss a thing.